The history of Nigeria cannot be told without the mention of one iconic nationalist, Nnamdi Azikiwe. He was considered a driving force behind the nation's independence and came to be known as the father of Nigerian nationalism. It's believed he stood firm for one Nigeria against very formidable odds, and at a time that others had fought for their ethnic groups by canvassing regionalism. Azikiwe's unparalleled efforts ensured that he became the country's first Senate president, first black governor general, and the first president of Nigeria, among many other sterling firsts. Through his actions, he became well known not only as an independence leader in the West African country, but also as a prominent voice for the emancipation of black people globally. Born on November 16, 1904, today marks the 117th posthumous birthday of a man who is popularly known as the Great Zik of Africa and one of the nation's founding fathers. To mark the day, some events have been lined up for celebration, including in the nation's capital, Abuja.
As we hold this dialogue in memory of Zik, I expect the discussants to focus their attention on the factors standing in the way of realizing the dreams of Nnamdi Azikiwe and other nationalists regarding integration, national unity, and economic emancipation. I believe Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, Sir Ahmadu Bello, Chief Antonio Nauro, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, and other great nationalists did their best to live the image of our country.
I'm sure Zik will say to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the government of Nigeria, engage the youths and forgive them, for they know not what they do, and bring them back as sons and daughters of our land. I'm sure he will advise that military should be the last option. Engaging the youths and talking to them might be the way to go, just for peace to reign.
Events leading to the Nigerian Civil War and the actual conflict cannot be completely told without a look at the role played by the late Azikiwe. Many say his Civil War role was that of a great political chess player. Published war literature and recollections of many actors of the period paint a picture of a man that many Nigerians felt he gave maximum support to secession, but whose support for the same cause the Biafrans themselves were not sure of, with many in the old eastern region castigating him for being lukewarm towards their aspirations. Some had accused him of being a saboteur, but those close to him at the time think otherwise.
When he was working for Chief Ojukwu, General Ojukwu, he did it. He didn't mind that Ojukwu was just like his son. He went, respected Ojukwu. Whatever Ojukwu asked him to do, he will do, just to see that Biafra survived. But when he found out that things are not going to end the way we want it, or the way Biafra wanted, could it have been better that we were all wiped off?
Yes, he supported Biafra in the beginning, but he's not a sabo as people say it. The man saw that if this war continues, millions of Igbos will be killed. At the point where he was making one of his speeches about his trip to Nigeria, he mentioned it, 1.5 million children. Videos of Igbos suffering from kwashiorkor everywhere. As an Igbo man, that should touch your heart. And that's what made him intervene. And if people have this misconception, it's for them. But that's why I've decided that one of the things I will continue doing for him is to make sure that his story is told.
The Anambra State government has declared November 16 a public holiday in his honor. The state governor, Willie Obiano, says it will be right for President Muhammadu Buhari to do same. The Enugu State government, on its part, is renovating the premier lodge where Azikiwe lived in 1954. Governor Gwanye says the lodge will now be known as the Zik Center.
The house, the premier lodge where my father stayed in 1954 when he was the premier, the structure was still there. So his plan was to renovate it and turn it into a center to remember him. When I came on board, he gave me the idea and gave me a go-ahead to do whatever I wanted to do there. And I told him, museum, pictures, personal items, books. And he supported it. And we've been working on it. We have quotes, we have poems, we have his speeches, we have books, we have a lot of things about him that we're going to include there because he wants to tell this story. He wants people to know that a great man once lived with us.
Azikiwe was born in Zungeru in present-day Niger State, but grew up in Calabar and Lagos States. He studied various disciplines in the United States and the United Kingdom and arguably remains the most urbane and intellectually engaging of all Nigerian leaders. He was one of the country's earliest leaders to bag a PhD. Zik established one of Nigeria's major indigenous banks, the African Continental Bank, and the country's second degree awarding institution, the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Azikiwe died on May 11, 1996 in Nigeria's southeastern Enugu State and has a mausoleum built in his honor in Onitsha, in his native Anambra State by the Nigerian government, a first for the country's political leaders. Abel Ejikeme, Arise News.